4 were 1 point behind them, but obviously that's not going to matter into this one, as both of these teams, they need the points and they need them bad for their own reasons. There's Revoluzion and metagame in the blue going up against 90 Degrees FOV Esports in the red, going up against each other on Viaduct right here. My name is Pledge, with me is going to be Accless, and John is going to be on the cap.
Yeah, we got Mark pushing really aggressively onto mid. He was in front of his medic, and the first player actually stepped onto the midpoint. He got punished for it. Salmon just jumps in and takes down Mark. That's no demo for RLM, and there it's still 4v4, but the health is really bad on RLM. But oh, they get the crucial pick right when they needed it, and that's another pick for them. This is gonna be RLM's mid, and yeah, Subker and Kaz are on the retreat. Nice. Oh well, they played really well. They were pressured by a couple players who dropped back, I guess, to cap the point, but they had the potential to just kill them there and just secure them a couple more seconds off the clock.
Gotta keep in mind though, the spawn advantage right now in favor of the Reds. They also both have Uber charge, so the Uber comes out. Hard Blue manages to get that one out of the way, but it's a 6 versus 5, and really this is not good. Zucker actually going down to the stickies of Mark. That might prove to be very valuable, as the 90 Degrees boys, they're trying to break through, they really are, and Cost surfing away, but the jump immediately straight afterwards gets shot down by Slip. Great play from the Finnish soldier, as he manages to take that one down, and really the frags are coming out, and yes, the point gets captured, but for how long? As right now Revolution and metagame making their way back through in, and with the Uber advantage that they have, the player advantage and the spawn advantage that they have, surely this point is going to be theirs in no time.
Probably, yeah. They got 2 picks too. I don't know why they went in 1 by 1, and well, it's 50% on spin, only 20% on cause, so we might just see the 5-player suicide, or maybe just a 4-player suicide onto spin to get the overforce. Maybe some cheeky play. Yeah, probably, but it looks like it's happening, but it's just 1 player, then a second player.
Yeah, it's a 3-man suicide at the moment. I'm not really sure what they're doing. It looks like here, there we go. Salmon now goes down. Captain Axe is going, and it looks like Rake is going as well. Gonna try it with the 3 of them. The Devilman Suckber is not actually there. He's sitting in spawn at the moment. They do get the Uber Force out, which is basically mission accomplished, as the supercharge is going to be built as soon as the players die and respawn. And for some reason, they actually managed to stay alive pretty much throughout that entire thing. As right now, Hard Blue gets taken down. It is a 6 versus 5, and 90 Degrees going to be able to pick up this middle point unless something like absolutely terrible happens, like a sticky trap or something like that. Uber Force comes out though, and that might be equally terrible considering the way you look at it. They're 1 minute down, but they do cap the point this time around. Though the question is, for how long are they still going to have it?
It makes for a really exciting game. We just see the point being traded every 30 or 20 seconds even. And the medics always stay alive for the other team, so they have the Uber in just half a minute ready to push back in. This is what's going to happen. Spin stayed alive, he's going to be on 80%, they're already ready to push in. They're getting positioned on the left side of their side of the map. And they're trying to pressure, but it's really risky in that area. You get spammed out so easily, and actually, yeah, they're really close to the doorway where they can just dodge. And if they keep playing like this, they might just get the middle point without having to pop the Uber, which would be huge. And it looks good, they got the point. And 90 Degrees is nowhere to be seen actually. They're on the on the what's it called? The ledge on the right side. Yeah. They're in position, but they're just standing there. They don't have a jumper. They have the pocket soldier, and the roamer is all the way back. You respawn, I guess. Now there's the push. There's the bomb by Salmon, getting a lot of pressure on the pocket. Haru's on low health, and both Ubers have been popped. It's a really good exchange so far for 90 Degrees, who managed to get 2 frags before the Ubers actually were popped. And they might be able to just cap the point, and if they push ahead, they might be able to get spin too. The pressure's on him. Salmon is on. Yes, he gets him. Nicely done. It's no medic for them, and they might be able to just hold on the point for a good minute maybe, and they need the time.
Yeah, you can see all the exchanging happening, but in retrospect, all that happened was that they're still the same. It's still about a minute difference right now when they've held it for 15 seconds. About 45 seconds or so, the 4-man suicide is going to happen. I'm assuming it looks like they're going to run flip the sniper. No, okay, it's not a 4-man suicide. Revolution and metagame, they've seen this happening, where if you don't have Uber yet and you're a defending team, you sit all the way back, you can hug that point and get some stuff done. This time around, though, that's not the way it's going to work. 90 Degrees did see the danger coming quite a bit in time, actually, as right now they're going to be able to defend that point, and it looked like the weirdest form of a 3-man suicide I've ever seen. As right now the players are respawning. The Uber charger spin has already almost been charged up, and indeed they lost that full minute, and that is the minute they really didn't want to lose. Now this time around though, with both teams on 55 seconds left on the clock, anything can still happen, as this Uber versus Uber charge is getting off here.
I'm surprised Libby hasn't picked the sniper yet. Well, we see the Ubers being exchanged again, and Salmon went down. I think he forced to, for RLM to actually have a favorable position, or 9 degrees of favorable position, but it's not working out. They have to drop back. RLM is going to take it. I want to see some snipers. This is kind of the time where you might want to have it. You don't have enough time to actually get the suicide in. It's only 45 seconds for RLM that they have to keep it, and they're in a really good position. They have an Uber advantage, and I think I saw a sniper flicker up.
Yeah, just Rake. Rake was sniping for a little bit, but he really didn't hit any of the shots whatsoever. And the thing is, are they going to team push or are they going to suicide in? I think they realize that right now Spin doesn't actually have that Uber. He doesn't have it at all. So what they're going to do is they're going to put in a lot of pressure, see what they can do. Cost goes down. And yes, that's important, but it's not the end of the world if you can push as aggressively and as coordinated as they really should. With Captain Axe going down right now, and Salmon going, look at that, Spin just uses that Uber. It's like with 10 seconds. All we need to do is block the point and just kill a couple of players, and we're gonna be completely fine. And with Revoluzion metagame, picking up those players with Captain Axe as the last man standing here, it really looks like they're gonna pick up round number 1 here of Viaduct.
Yeah, they only need to wait for the red space, which is leave the counter. And there's a last-ditch effort, and no, it's not gonna work. Too bad. But what we do have, we have 0 seconds versus 35, so we have close what I was hoping for. So 90 degrees is still in it. They didn't get demoralized. They're still in it to win.
See if they can manage to pick this one up all the way. 1-0 at the moment for Revoluzion metagame. That is not going to be good for 90 degrees. They kind of need to come out strong here because that last round, 90 degrees, they were behind. They were trailing the entire time. They really need to get it together. But look at the health already. They're so unbelievably low on health. And really, 90 degrees, they probably would be better off here, just dropping out, keeping their players alive for the time being. It looks like Suckper is going to die here as well as the 3-0 exchange comes out. And again, Revoluzion metagame is going to make sure that 90 degrees is going to keep on trailing from the start of the round onwards.
Yeah, that just didn't work out for them on the midpoint. You said that the health was really bad and they stayed in for a really long time. Now, on Viaduct doesn't really matter if you die late because your respawn time is like 6 seconds. And we do see these suicide plays coming in. There's 2 scouts and a roamer on the right side, and actually no, it's a proper push. We got the whole combo from 90 degrees on the left side, and the Ubers have been exchanged right there. And it's a 1v1 exchange so far, but a lot of pressure on the medic. Spin goes down, Star goes down, but in exchange, Salmon and Rake die too. Oh dear, this is interesting, but Kaz stayed alive, and there's a couple more players for RLM dying. Sivas was the only one alive, and we do see the sniper from Flippy. Oh dear, and Kaz just serves away, and he's trapped in house. This is... I mean...
They're okay. Flippy's
yeah.
the only guy who was alive at the time, and he's sitting in spawn at the moment. So they're going to be fine. They're going to wait for their players to spawn. They're all going to get a buff, and they're going to make their way through as there's a little bit of an Uber disadvantage. The question is, are they going to decide and play with the spawn advantage? It looks like it. It looks like it. They're going to play with the spawn advantage. And I like the decision that RLM is making right here. They're going to say, okay, we're going to fight, but if we exchange 3 for 3, we're going to come out on top for the sole purpose of us spawning 3 to 4 seconds earlier than you guys. They're going to try and play for this one. There are 20% Uber behind, and if Cost manages to hit this one, this might get very, very ugly for the Blues. But at this moment in time, it doesn't look like Cost is going to have it. He does, barely in the nick of time. They cap the point, but in all honesty, they might just die here on the spot. The damage comes down, the pressure comes down. Spin is on 130 HP, now drops to 100. Is still going to be able to stay alive, though, with 95% Uber, but he has to run for his life. Sees a soldier, get the hell out of there, Spin. So the guy has to stay alive right there with the Uber charge, and again, time after time after time again, you see Revoluzion is making sure that their clock is lower than 90 degrees is.
Did you have your camera on Kaz when that push happened? He was dodging like a madman, just jumping around, dropping to the floor right when it was needed, and popped the Uber right in time and saved himself and got his team the point. But okay, we see the push from RLM coming in, and they got 2 picks really early, and they're going to take the point. But they are looking at a 80% Uber disadvantage, well, 70%. That's going to be a quick retake for 90 degrees if they can keep it up. And we do have Rake on Sniper, which is kind of odd if you have the Uber advantage. Well, you can use it to take ground and then position the sniper to just have some long-lasting efficiency. And looks like they're doing that. Oh dear, Sucker goes down. I didn't see that. He went down all the way in the back, but they're getting the frags they need. They got 3 frags right away. They have pressure on the point, and it looks like they're going to divert all the pressure that could come from RLM. And yeah, Marcus is going to drop back and help his medic build over.
quite sure that right now we're going to see 90 degrees just backing a little bit on that right-hand side. Oh, and this is the rib hole, basically, as Suckburst putting those stickies up on top of that pipe. They've seen that from Broder, and they're like, well, you know what? It works for them. We might as well do the exact same thing. The spin now does get bombed. It's not get taken down, at least for the time being, with 100%. Salmon really not going to be able to get the damage. Then the kill comes out into Harblue. I like that sticky trap on top of the pillar. And with the kill coming out, yeah, they can hold on at least for the time being, but they really need 1 or 2 more picks. As the Uber now comes out, are they going to be able to touch 90 degrees? It looks like it, but they are jumping away. They are managing to make sure to stay completely safe. Captain Hacks goes down, but if that's the only casualty of war, I don't think they're going to mind it all too much. As the 30 seconds, the 40 seconds they were down, has now been converted to 20 seconds that they're down, if they're able to cap this one a little bit earlier. And now, this is a very, very good exchange for the red. The medic goes down, everything goes down. As Revoluzion and metagame really not going to be able to get anything out of this exchange. And that was pretty much the perfect exchange, exactly what they needed.
Yeah, for some reason RLM decided to just hand them one player after another. They got 2 frags on entry and then 2 fadeaway kills. I don't know what Swim was doing right there. 2 of his players jumped in to get the Overforce, which they did, but they died to it, and Swim was left stranded on the middle point and died as soon as Subker pushed in and just got a nice sticky on him and killed him. Then there was another fadeaway kill. That was really, really weird, but nicely played by 90 degrees, who are in a really comfortable position right now with an Uber advantage. 1 player down, but that's okay when you have an Uber advantage, but they might be able to contest the point and just hold onto the point for a really long time. If they play it properly, this might be, this is really early to call, but they might be able to just hold onto the point until the end of the round. Oh, well, never mind. Uber got forced, they're down 3 players. This is gonna be close, really close, because now Spin is in that really comfortable position of having the point. Not quite, okay, never mind. But almost having the Uber. Looks like, yeah, 90 degrees might be able to take it. 15 seconds, no, Kaz gets taken down. Flippy goes in and just shoots him down with like 3 shots. This...
They need to get some sort of force out of the Spin right now. He's sitting on half HP. They need to get some sort of force out. It's going to be unbelievably difficult in order to do that, though. Zuckber now goes down. And with 35 seconds left on the clock, Revoluzion and metagame are going to really give 90 degrees a run for their money here. Let's see if they manage to pick this one up. Look at where Spin is going. He's just switching sides. He's going to hide towards that right-hand side. He really does not want to get sniped or any of those shenanigans. He sits into that corner, going to play it as safe as he can. If that Uber does not get forced, there's a clear window right here in which they can just make it happen. And that window is exactly 12 seconds long as the clock ticks down at the moment. 1 kill to snip is going to be crucial, but Spin is just going to Uber. They're going to bosh him up the point. Can they get the kill to cost? No, they cannot. And I think actually 90 degrees might have this one. I like the way they've played this. They've spread out multiple times, and the Uber was very much a single target right there for Spin. I really did not like the focus as they tried to get cost down. They should have focused on players, and it looks like they have done it, ladies and gentlemen. 90 degrees is going to pick up the round after just a bad Uber fight right there coming out of the blues.
Oh, wow, I didn't expect that. I had my eyes on, who was that? I think it was Salmon who died when he tried to push into a really sneaky sticky trap on one side. But holy crap, they took it. So it's 1-1. And it's still all up in the air who's gonna take it, but that was so well played by them, just taking the point when actually it looked like they wouldn't be able to.
Focus the medic was a little bit of a wrong call, but obviously this is Viaduct, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go straight in, probably for the 3rd time in a row. The Blues are going to be able to pick up the initial fight right here. They're going to get the cap time going, and for the 3rd time in a row, they're going to get 90 degrees trailing from the start. And really, you got to be honest, this is really not a pretty position for the Reds to sit in every single time. They lose that initial fight, and every single time they're going to try and catch back up. Last time they managed to do it. The time before they didn't. What kind of a round is it going to be this time?
Interesting in any case. We got Snippus hiding in the red shed towards their spawn, who's going behind now. He's going to jump the medic, gets 1 rocket, 2 rockets, he gets shot down by Rake. Well played, nice reaction time there. We have a heavy on the midpoint, which is going to divert all the jumpers. You can't jump into a heavy, it's so annoying. And yeah, that rock is just going to stand on the midpoint and nobody wants to push into him, even though they're just 3 players. And they still can't really push in. Now
here they go.
Pressure on, now there's pressure on the heavy.
That's what you want to do, right? You want to coordinate it in the right way. Like, if there's one heavy with 450 HP and a medic covering with 150, you want to push at the right time. You want to do it exactly when you have everything reloaded and you're as buffed as you can, and that's exactly what they did. They waited the right amount of time, with Captain Hacks actually picking up the triple there at the very end. Really just a saving grace right there for his team, as the Uber advantage now comes out, and 90 Degrees is going to do what they've done since the start of Viaduct, is when they have an advantage and they have the middle, they sit far back, they let RLM come in, they let them put some pressure onto them, and is Spin with them once again? I can only assume so. Yeah, he is. As we can see, this has happened time after time. They give them point time, and that's how they force the Uber. Spin stays a little bit further back, but they get some time on the point. They force that Uber out, and now they're just going to back off.
Yeah, but yeah, and he's actually sitting at a, oh, it's not that much of an advantage. It's 20% exactly. So they have a small window where they can push in, where Cost doesn't have it, but they have a setup of a sniper, and there's an exchange where, but oh my god, Captain Axe took down Spin. I don't know where that happened. How did that even happen? Are you supposed to keep the medic? Yeah. Oh, they were aggressive trying. Oh, okay. They were actually taking position, and Captain Axe just snuck in. Well played. I was expecting Spin to just stay. Oh.
Like the shot that come out from Salmon. I don't really like the play from 90 Degrees here, though. At all. It seems to work out to an extent, but I don't like it. Not even close to liking it at this moment in time. They took down Spin super early, and what do? They decide to sort of stay in to hug the point. If you're going to stay in, you have to do it properly. You cannot sort of half-assery stay in. You cannot do that. And what they're going to do now is drop the Uber. That seems like a great strategy for Snip, as he manages to pick down Cost right there. Snip and Harblue and Flippy both dropped, all three dropped to the floor though, so the point is going to go into red hands, but that Uber drop might still end up biting them in the ass.
Yeah, it's going to equalize the times in any case. They're looking at a 20-second advantage, which they might be able to keep for another 20 seconds, roughly. Maybe a little bit less. Is that a soldier? No. They've taken the forward hold, so they're looking to force the Uber as soon as they try to push in. There's some early aggression from the demo on the right side, and Salmon tried to bomb in, but he got shut down really quickly. So now RLM is trying to push onto the point, and they're looking at a 4 people team. They're going to take a really good position on mid, being able to set up, maybe even take the forward hold, set up some stickies, which looks like they're doing. The medic's actually going to take position on the hill on the right. That's really aggressive. I'm just debating. Yeah, okay, they are going to 4-man suicide. Reds are 4-man suiciding onto blue at the moment. Can they get their damage done? They get the kill onto Snip. Are they going to try and focus that Uber out of that one? Looks like they are going to try. Are they going to manage to make it work? Yes, they can. As Mr. Suckburr, Salmon, and Rake managed to get that play out of that one, and Captain Axe even not needed there. He can stay in spawn with his medic at the moment, as that Uber right now for the Reds do hit. And with the timers almost even, there's about 10 seconds that differentiate between the two. As soon as they hit the middle, it's going to be about even. Flippy goes down. Can they force out that Uber early? That is really kind of something they need, and they do get the force out early. This is going to be a good exchange for RLM, regardless on whether or not they win, whether or not they lose. They need to make sure that Spin stays alive, though. Yeah, and it looks like they might be able to do that. Spin is all the way nicely. Yeah, he's tucked away towards their spawn. Building Uber, and they're gonna get ready to re-push. I'm surprised we haven't seen a spy from Harblue yet. He kind of does that on Viaduct, which is
does that.
Yeah. Maybe in the last round to make it really exciting and clutch. But yeah, they're looking to push off Uber. They get Drake as an entrance pick, which is interesting. Spin only has 80%. If they play it smartly, they might be able to get a bomb in, but there's some really nice positioning. Actually, having a perimeter around the medic, which is kind of, yeah, it's still there. So if you want to push the medic, you have to get through a demo scout and a soldier who can all shoot at you at once from all directions. So you have really well played. They didn't have to use the Uber to actually get in, and they didn't even have the Uber when they pushed in. High risk, high reward. It's gonna save them a lot of time. They have evil over situations, even over situations. Let's see how 90 Degrees does that. I reckon, no, they actually pop the Uber really early, get an entrance pick on Mark, which is crucial. And yeah, the better Uber is on RLM side, who pop way later, but they might be able to take position because no demo for RLM means that they can...
alive, wow. Cos actually got bombed right there, and I cannot believe the guy managed to dodge two of those rockets actually and stay alive, as right now we can see they're going to try and make this one happen, and just like last round, pretty much, Right now, we're going to see RLM is going to be able to clutch this one out. Very, like, clearly, right? You see them force the enemy team towards the point, and then they're going to try and just really kill them all in that area of effect spam that comes out from soldiers and Demo Man. They're going to try and block this point and at least keep fighting for it, ladies and gentlemen. But in all honesty, Revoluzion metagame is going to be able to pick up this one and take that all-important 2-1 lead.
I'm sorry for the pun or joke beforehand, but it's the new meta. Shoot point, get kills. They know where they're going to be, so they don't even have to aim for them. They just shoot the point where they have to be if they don't want to lose. So, yeah, we have Salmon on the right side on this mid, taking really early position with his scouts on the point. Actually, no, they're just playing around the point, but 90 Degrees is taking a better position on it. They have players on it, but the bomb comes in. It's horribly on the medic, and he gets taken down nice and early. And it's 4v4. It's still up for everyone to take. But 90 Degrees, again, taking a really aggressive position, just pushing across the point, trying to take position onto RLM. And it looks like it's working out. There's only 2 players up for them. Spin is retreating, and Snip is just with him. Nice play by 90 Degrees. And is this the first mid win for them?
Yeah. It's the first initial fight win that they've had so far. I was going to bring it up, but good on you for actually keeping that one up in your head as well, as 90 Degrees managed to pick it up. But again, it's what they do. They sort of sit in that corner. I'm not sure how much I like it. I've been seeing it now for 4 or 5 rounds, and even in the previous exchange with the Viaduct, I've seen it. I don't really like it, like, because you're easy to spam right there. Salmon gets the Uber force though, but Koss was already forced on his regard due to the hard blue sticky bomb, or the rocket bomb actually, as right now we can see RLM. Yes, they're being pressured out, but the re-push is going to come in, and clearly they're going to come out on top. They're 40 seconds behind, but with the exchange that they just had, 40 seconds really should not be an issue for them.
Shouldn't, no. Ethag was the only one who stayed alive in that exchange, which is unfortunate. They're looking at an Uber disadvantage as well. I'd like to see some interesting strats to come out for them, but it looks like they're going to go with Cookie Cutter and the 5-man suicide. A proper one, like all players going in at once. It's not getting much done. There's a rocket on Spin. 1 rocket, and he's on 70 HP. And there's the Demo Bomb, and this might... it's not still not a force, guys. You need to get pressure on the medic. That's unfortunate. They didn't get it. Spin, nice dodging, nice positioning from him. He stayed alive. 80% Uber advantage, nicely played, and 90 Degrees has to do that again, I guess.
No, they're alright. Just right now, 90% Uber. They're going to just make their way in through the left-hand side. Built that one off, and unless Flippy... Oh my god, the Snippus bomb! Absolutely perfect. I don't know if he was sitting around the corner, or if he was bombing in at the exact perfect time, but he got it in, and he got the double rocket, and that's Koss's drop again. It really costs you guys... I'm not saying it's his fault per se, but in all honesty, those 2 Uber drops have been absolutely crucial throughout these fights so far. As the drop comes out, the Revolution metagame, again, a favorable exchange, and instead of 40 seconds down, they're now going to be 40 seconds up.
Yeah, well played, and that bomb, or, well, sneak attack, that might be able to just...
He was sitting around the corner. I'm quite sure he was sitting around the corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sneak attack in that case. As you said, it was huge. We have the same situation we had, I think, a minute ago, where Spin is going, well, last game, where Spin is going to sit on an Uber advantage against, not quite an Uber from Kaz. So they have to force the Uber and then re-push it. And Kaz is running crits. Thank you, voice that only I can hear. Let's see, this... Yeah, it's been popped. Let's see if it's been...
I think the Uber's just going to come out. Like, of course, the trigger finger is good and ready to go. So we can see Spin just popping that one off. And the exchange, once again, in favor of Revolution metagame. 40 seconds left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Still on the timer for 90 Degrees. You gotta give it right now to RLM, ladies and gentlemen. If they pick this one up, they still have a solid chance of taking 4th and making their way through to the playoffs. The Spin called it on Fully Charged last week. Let's see in what way they're actually going to be able to make this one work. Or are they, ladies and gentlemen? As Revolution metagame, they're holding so far forwards, and it really looks like 90 Degrees right now. They're at this sort of last resort play. They're just going to try and go in, and they're sort of praying that the enemy messes up. But in all honesty, it really looks like they might really have to give this one away, as right now 90 Degrees, they're going to try one last time, ladies and gentlemen. Sukper and Drake both go down. Looks Revolution metagame, no problem whatsoever, is going to be able to pick up Viaduct here, ladies and gentlemen. Last-ditch efforts. Everyone is suiciding towards the point. But against the Uber, obviously, there's not a lot you can do, ladies and gentlemen. The 3-1 scoreline comes out. Very, very well played there for Revolution metagame, keeping the hopes alive of actually reaching that top 4 spot. and at least winning their game here against Finland. 5-1 is the ETF2L scoreline, ladies and gentlemen. After the golden capped win there onto balance, 5-4, and a solid win here on Viaduct, 3-1 Accless.
Yeah, it was two great games. We saw a lot of really interesting things come out from 90 Degrees, and they fought valiantly. Like, it was a couple of really good games where they kept us guessing who might be able to take it. It looked more obvious towards the end of Viaduct, where they just made more and more mistakes. But we had the sliver of light where, yeah, they took the midpoint, which was something new for them, but didn't work out in the end. Too bad. So they have to see to not be relegated towards the end of the season. And as you said, R&M might be able to be in the playoffs. What does it depend on? I'm not sure.
RLM is 2 points up to Solar, and Solar still plays tomorrow against LMS. That's it. So if Solar gets one map win tomorrow, or one golden cap win to tie it up, and we get like a playoff in a playoff, should be great. Should be great. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Either way, guys, we're going to go over to the interviews here in just a little bit. I see both team leaders joining our mumble right here. So we're going to be able to speak to both Spin and onto Salmon to see how that game went and exactly the stuff that is going to be going on between both of these teams. As they really have their own goals in the rest of the season. It's out of their hands, though, ladies and gentlemen, as both of these teams, they're done. Their season is over unless they manage to get some sort of weird playoff system into play. We'll have to wait and see, though, exactly how that's going to happen. The interviews will come up here in just a little bit, so no worries about that. In about 90 seconds or so, we will be back, and I'll be able to speak to both of these teams on what exactly happened during that game and what their plans are for the future, guys. Don't go anywhere.